Here we go. And here is my screen. You can see my screen, right? Can you see it?
Yes, I
Okay,
see.
today we're going to be talking about art. So everybody knows what art is, right? Art,
Yeah.
it can be anything. It can be music, it can be, films, it can be paintings, sculptures, and many other things, right? But today we're going to be talking about the classic art, and let's say the something that we first think of when we hear the word art, right? For example, me, I think about paintings and sculptures. So let's narrow the topic to that. So the first question to you all. First one, do you enjoy visiting art galleries? So what do you say? So let me start with another question. Have you actually, so can you remember the last time you visited an art gallery?
Can I start?
Sure, of course.
Last time I was in Tetsik gallery. In summer. And I enjoyed this visit of gallery. There were a lot of galleries, and they are all interesting. And there is one room. Very shaggin, with all paints, all galleries was painting by very shaggin. And in that room we saw about our mountains and about our cultures and clothes, and it was I was proud to see about Kyrgyz culture in Tsetsk.
I see. So it is one of the biggest art galleries in Russia, right?
Yeah,
one of
right.
the biggest. And can I ask you, what piece of art was the most, let's say, exciting, or the one that actually shocked you? Maybe you liked the most. Is there one piece of art that you liked the most?
Про одно, да, вам рассказать?
Бирөөсү жөнүндө бирөөсү эң жаккан кайсынысы сизге эң көп жакты?
I was surprised about one art on them. Или сейчас скажу так. This painting says about how Russian
Empire.
How empire колонизировала там эти страны Азии.
Colonized, right?
Colonized the countries of Central Asia.
I see.
And there were a lot of черепа людей.
Schools, right?
Schools of Russian soldiers. Because the local people were not agree with Russian Empire. That's why they could to kill them. And there was a lot of schools.
Schools, адамдардың мындай баштары.
Да, баштары жатқанда. Вот вот это говорит о том, что мы были против, мы не соглашались. Вот именно вот эта тема, я не знаю, я долго смотрела, изучала, поэтому она очень сильно откликнулась.
So it was a bloody event, right? Many people died. Yes, we were colonized. We were we were killed and all this stuff. I see. Okay, that's a very good point. Thank you very much. It was very interesting. Okay then. So thank you very much. So anybody else? So who's gonna be next? Who wants to speak about the art gallery you've recently visited? Or who's gonna be next?
I will try. I was in an art gallery 3 or 4 years ago. I didn't remember exactly. I respect painters. I respect their talent, and I like the pictures about nature. I can't draw. I can draw only flowers. That's why I think painting or drawing, it's very difficult work, and I respect painters.
I see. You respect painters because it's difficult, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. And you said that you visited an art gallery last time. It was 3 or 4 years ago. And which art gallery it was? So which one was it? Was it here in Kyrgyzstan, or were you abroad or somewhere else?
In Bishkek, yeah, in Kyrgyzstan.
I see. So which one was it?
Бир мындай базарданбы же центрданбы ушундай кетип баратканда эле бир картинкалар ушу жерлерден көргөм да анан.
Түшүнүктүү. Мындай көчөдөн даярдалган бир галерея болуп экен, э? Түшүнүктүү. Макул. Жакшы, чоң рахмат. Кийинки ким сүйлөйт? So, who's gonna be next? Is there anybody who wants to speak?
Good evening, may I?
Good evening, Janat. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm okay. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great, actually. So, sure, of course you can. So, here we go. The question is, do you enjoy visiting art galleries? And when was the last time? And tell me about that time.
So, I enjoy visiting art galleries, but nowadays I can't a lot visit the art galleries. The last time I visited the art gallery was in July, but it was like exhibition of pictures drawn by students. And at that exhibition, I liked a picture of a sunset.
A picture of sunset.
Yes.
I see.
It was very beautiful.
Go on.
Myself, I can't draw picture. I don't have any talent. And I also think that people who can draw, they were talented, and they, how to say, they are so I forgot the word.
Кыргызчасын да айта берсеңиз болот, унутуп калсаңыз.
Кыргызчасы. Так. Bir minute.
Эчтеке эмес.
They are very happy. No, бактылуу адамдар.
Бактылуу. I see. So they are very talented. It's a unique skill, right? It's very uncommon. And that's why they are very, let's say, lucky to have such a skill, right?
Yes, that's word, lucky. They are very lucky.
I see. I got it. So you were so it was an exhibition, a street exhibition. It was the paintings by some children, right? And
not children, it's students of university.
I see. Now I get it.
And it wasn't in the street, it was in art gallery, but it was for short period of time.
I see. Now I get it. Okay, now it's clear to me. So, and you like the picture of a sunset, right?
Yes,
okay.
That's right.
Okay, thank you. So, anybody else who's gonna be next? Is there anybody?
Can I?
Sure, of course.
Yes, I do. I enjoy visiting art galleries, but some days I couldn't often. But if I have possible, I want to visit museum, not only galleries.
I see.
Especially museum. There are also another thing in museum. I like visiting museum, art galleries. I think it is enjoyable.
So, can you tell me about famous museums or art galleries there in Turkey, or in your hometown, or in the city where you live?
I live in Ankara. There is a art pitch. There is a resim ve heykel müzesi in Turkish. In English, painting and statues museum in Ankara. I like more it. There are paintings and statues, historical and modern piece of arts, and I like it.
I see. So you prefer visiting museums, right? Because there is a historical background behind the items in the museums, right? Rather than the items in the art galleries. I see. I actually can understand it. Yeah, that's a very fair point, I would say. Okay. It's much more interesting to actually observe the piece of art if you have the backstory, right? If you know the author, if you actually have read or maybe have heard about this item, right? It's much more interesting. Okay.
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you. So, anybody else? Who's going to be next? So, I guess that's it, right? We're done with this slide. Let's go to the next one. And the question goes like this: what kind of art do you like? Is it paintings? Is it sculptures, or maybe some different things? So, which type do you like the most? Okay, who's going to be speaking? So, sure, of course. Go on.
Paintings. My
paintings.
Favorite.
Okay.
Yes.
Why is that? Is there a specific reason for that?
Yes, there is a specific reason. When I was a child, I was interested paintings, but I couldn't continue continue my paintings works.
I see.
But I like still paintings. If even I couldn't do it and do paintings, I like see them.
Even if you can't paint yourself, you like to watch
Yes.
and observe the paintings, right? I see.
Yes.
And it comes from your childhood, right? Because you used to
Yes.
let's say, try to paint. I got it. Okay.
Yes.
So my personal choice would be paintings too, because you see, in a painting, you can actually reflect much more things, right? Much more concepts and much more, let's say, the picture would be deeper. The painting is deeper than the sculpture because it can contain many things, right? It can contain everything, actually. It can contain a scenery. It can contain emotions, big and small items, everything. You can even reflect your feelings without even showing real things, right? And you can't do that in
Yes.
sculpture. I guess to some extent, of course you can, but you are limited. And paintings feel like something unlimited to me. And yeah, my choice would be paintings. Okay, so what about others? What do you think?
And I agree with you. Painting is very good. When I see the painting, I imagine a lot of or different way. This who painted this or gallery. He made a different. How to say episode. Episode. And it's very interesting. You can feel peace, and you can imagine different life, maybe historical life or future life. They paint a lot of variant. That's why painting is very emotional, exciting. I like the paintings.
I see. I actually, I agree with everything you've just said. I guess, that's a fair point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Bakhtiar. Thank you very much. It was a, very good speech. So, anybody else?
I want to
Yes.
I want to talk about painting. As I like painting and the sculpture, both of them. But you talked about paintings, and I want to talk about the sculpture.
Okay, great.
Sculpture is unique because I think that it's three-dimensional, first of all. And if you make sculpture of someone unknown, I think it's easy for professionals. But if you are making sculpture of some appropriate person, it's very difficult. For example, I saw sculptures of Chingiz Aytmatov, our writer, in another country, and it doesn't look like him. At that time, I understand that it was very difficult.
I see. Okay, that's a very interesting observation. Okay, and why do you think they look different?
Maybe I'm not right, but I think that former Soviet Union countries artists who make sculpture, I mean, they can do it better.
Maybe
I see. Because in our countries there are a lot of sculptures, as you know, but in some countries there are not so many sculptures.
I see. I got it. So the industry itself I wouldn't call it an industry, but the craft itself is not, I don't know, is not, let's say, popular or developed that much, right?
Maybe.
Like, yeah, it differs. I got it. There is a difference in skill, as you said. Okay, got it. Okay, that's a very interesting observation. Thank you. So you mentioned 3-dimensional, right? So let me clarify that. 3-dimensional means 3D. Biz dimension деген бұл өлчөм деп коебуз бу? 3 өлчөмдүү деп которсок туура болобу же жаңылып жатамбы? Ким оңдоп коет? So 3D means something with, let's say, with dimension, actually 3-dimensional. Мисалы үчүн сүрөт 2D болсо, скульптура 3D болот, Ушинтип жөп-жөнөкөй эле түшүндүрүп кеттим. Жакшы түшүнүктүү болбой калды окшойт. Мейли. Okay, so who's going to be speaking next?
I will answer the truth. I am not an art person. Painting is close to me, and I don't understand about sculpture. But I think sculptures are very interesting person, and they thinking differently, imagining differently. That's why they can do these sculptures.
There is a special thinking. That's what you need, right?
Yeah. Special thinking. They unique person sculptures.
I see. I got it. So the artists who actually carve the stone and make sculptures, they think differently, right? They have different personalities. Okay, I got it. Okay, thank you. So, anything else? Anybody else? So, who's gonna be next? Okay, then I guess we're done with this slide, and let's go to the next one. Do you have a favorite artist? Yes, is there anybody who you like? It can be a person from the past, from the history, or the current ones, the ones actually are alive. So who's it for you? Who's your favorite artist?
Simon Kulchokmorov.
So he's an artist, right?
Yeah, he's an artist.
And what he used to do?
He was a painter, also actor.
So let's talk about painters, and let's talk about painters. Do you have a favorite painter? So you mentioned Simon Kulchokmorov, right?
Yeah.
And do you know any paintings by him?
I don't remember.
So you have seen them, but you don't remember their names, right?
Yeah.
I see. I got it. Okay. So anybody else? So guys, do you have a favorite artist? So, Bakhtiar, maybe you. Do you have a favorite artist?
I don't have a favorite artist. I'm not interested about artists, and I've never read or saw about the artist. That's why I couldn't answer this question.
Okay, that's okay. No worries. That's fine. So then, Chalpanai, Wuli, Zinat, maybe you. So, do you have anything to say?
I can say tell about
painting of Vincent. Эти
Winter.
подсолнухи. Как?
Cauliflower, right?
Да,
Cauliflower.
подсолнухи, в общем.
Sunflower.
Sunflower, yeah.
Sunflower. Yes.
I saw this painting online, and then in Moscow I saw some of copy that painting, and it was really good. I remember this painting, and it sunflowers. I mean, with this painting, painter wanted to say or to tell us about the weather or about the season, maybe about summer, and the как его эти краски, как его краски сказать?
The colors, right?
Colors, да, colors. The colors are so яркие, healthy.
Bright and bright, let's say, or fresh, maybe. They can be juicy, fresh, bright.
Fresh. Да, bright,
deep,
bright
right?
and fresh. Yeah, bright and fresh. Yeah.
I see.
That's it.
I see. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. So that's it. I got it. So if we talking about the artists, I guess the most famous one, the most popular one, maybe he's overhyped or I don't know, or something like that. But I only know Van Gogh, actually. And I actually like his works. I like the paintings of Van Gogh. I don't know. They're kind of deep, and I like the colors. I like the I don't know. I like the palette. I like everything. They're actually interesting. You always know, for example, if you're seeing this picture or this picture or the painting for the first time, you can tell right away that the painting belongs to Van Gogh because he has a unique style. So I would point out only this one because I don't know many of them actually. So yeah, okay. So let's move to the next one. Yes, that's right. Vincent van Gogh. So let's talk about this one. Do you know any Kyrgyz artists? So somebody mentioned Suymankul Chokmarov, and is there anybody else in Kyrgyzstan? So I'm talking about the famous artists. Last time I'm interested in local painters, Joseph Lada, Forse, Mucha. So you're talking about the Czech Republic, right? Guli is talking about the Czech Republic, I guess. I see. Joseph Lada and Alfonso Mucha. I don't know, actually. I haven't heard those names before. Yeah. But yeah, they must be good if you're talking about them. So guys, the question goes like this. Do you know any Kyrgyz artists? So about this question, actually, the one that comes up in mind, I guess, of course, is Suymankul Chokmarov and Gaparatif, I guess, right? The only one I know.
Can we assume writers as artists?
Yes, of course we can. But today we're talking about the painters, and yeah, let's say this area. We're talking about this area. But of course, in general, we can assume, we can consider writers as artists. Of course.
Yes,
yeah.
because there are feelings, fiction. I think they have competence to art.
That's right. Competence to art. I got it.
I think a lot of us not interested in artists, and that's why we are not talking about this thing.
That's right. That's right. It might be true. It might be true. So not everybody is interested in art and artists, right? Okay, then. So let's move to the next slide. So what do you think of modern art? Things like this, some abstract or some unclear things, right? So what do you think of modern art in general? Do you like it?
As for me, it is not. I want to say it's too difficult to get it. And I can't understand anything in modern art.
I see. Same goes for me. I actually can't understand it. I don't know what to think of it actually, because some people say it's really deep and it's a real art, but some people say it's not art at all, right? So I was wondering, what do you think? So guys, yes, do you have any other opinions or any other ideas?
I want to say just one sentence. When I see the modern art paintings, I think that I can do it too.
I see. Okay. Yes, anybody else? The modern art. Of course, it's hard to understand, I would say, but yeah.
I can't get it. It's not clear to me, for me.
I see. But there definitely are some people who can understand this art, right? There are some people. Okay, so yeah, let's assume that it has something to it. Okay, then the next one. And what do you think of street art?
Street art.
Do you respect it, or is it something that shouldn't be existing?
It's a paint. Good. Жакшыраак сүрөттөрдү тартса. If I saw in the street or in the зданиялар кандай болчу эле?
Buildings. Buildings.
Building. I saw, for example, in the kindergarten, and they draw pictures in nature, flowers. It's good, but horrors, they ужасный сүрөттөр тартып койсо, it's not good.
I see. I get your question. I get your point. But there are many different types of street art, right? It depends on the artist again. So we have some good paintings, some wholesome paintings, right? We have some very beautiful paintings and ugly ones too. So, but what about the concept itself? Drawing on the walls of buildings, on the streets, and yeah, maybe on the bridges or something like that. So guys, do you have any other opinions? Any other ideas?
May I answer?
Sure, of course.
I think that street art is very interesting, especially when you are waiting for someone. And it also can be a chance for beginner beginner painters. They can show herself or himself by
Show
their
their skill,
paintings.
right?
Yes, that's right. By their paintings in the street.
I see. Okay, that's a very good point. It's a good starting point, right? It's a good starting ground, let's say.
Yes.
Okay, so anybody else? So, yeah. Selim, you want to say something?
I think it must be proper to rules. Without permission, buildings owners' permission, it can't be good. I like professional art in street. I think it makes more beautiful. It makes streets more beautiful, but I think it is necessary to have permission.
I see. So it's very important to have or to get things under control, right? I mean,
yes.
If you have everything under control, so you can choose where to put the painting and choose the painter, choose the artist, and choose the picture, right? Even though it's a street art, even though it is performed by the street artist or the professional artist, it should be controlled by the government, right? And that way it can be beautiful, you think?
Yes.
I see. I got it. Okay, that's a very strong point, and I actually agree with that, because it's not beautiful. It's actually ugly when it's chaotic, right? And when you see, everything on the walls, everybody who wants actually can come to the wall and put their painting, and it's not right. It's not good, because it should be controlled. Yeah, I actually agree with that. Okay, then. So the presentation is over. So guys, do you have any questions regarding the presentation, regarding the application, maybe our social media platforms? So guys, do you have any questions? So if you don't have any questions, then we can finish our talking club. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you for being active, and see you next week. Goodbye. Have a good night.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, and
Thank you.
goodbye.
See you.